Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. The Lord had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his own vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai of hosts, which he shaketh over it. All praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Shemashai, Bahasham, Racha, HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and to the elders of great millstone, peace and salutations to the elect. I am a brother Makulat. Again, with a lesson to feed the electrical spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai. Quick one. So as we are going in to the Passover, we are making ourselves um, prepare spiritually, because the Passover is a very serious event. It's a solemn assembly, and we look forward to it every year. We keep it, hoping that it is the last one we keep on this side. Usually around the time of the Passover, we have stuff that happened, you know, that further, bring forth prophecy, which basically, even the scriptures, after the Passover and the day of Pentecost, the apostles basically received the spiritual power, and they took Yahweh Shai after the Passover. And so the Passover is a very significant time. You understand? So we are seeing a whole lot of build up that's taking place now, which basically we are about to go into the Passover, which is Wednesday, April the 1st, 2026 at even. I remember it is the feast of unleavened bread. You're not supposed to eat anything with yeast in it. Talakia. You know. The spirit just wanted me to say that. I didn't came to speak about the Passover. What I came to speak about is the situation over there in Cuba. Oh, that Russia basically delivered oil, oil to them. And I want this individual on screen to speak about it. And I said I was gonna say a couple of things on it, but for some reason the spirit wanted me to say a couple of things on the Passover, because as you said, this is the time that we're in, and it's a solemn assembly. It's very serious, So it's time for us to get our house in order. Um, but without any further ado, let me just play this, and then we filter it through the scriptures, right?
With much needed oil, and Donald Trump basically backed down from his own blockade. Since invading Venezuela and since taking control of the sale and revenue of Venezuela's oil, which was the biggest supplier of oil to Cuba, Donald Trump put a de facto blockade on oil reaching Cuba. And not just Venezuela's oil. He threatened any country that's friendly with Cuba with tariffs and much more if they sent any oil to Cuba. And for about 3 months, these threats worked. That's why Cuba and its people are in such dire situations right now, with tragic stories coming out of Cuba like patients dying at hospitals because of the blockade. And this is where this story gets really complicated, because I'm not trying to paint Russia as the good guy here, but Russia did test the limits of Trump's de facto blockade, essentially dismissing everything Trump said and just sending an oil tanker to Cuba anyways. And a lot of people were afraid that Russia defying the US this way could lead to a war. But after finding out that an oil tanker was about to reach Cuba, Trump said if a country wants to send some oil to Cuba right now, I have no problem, whether it's Russia or not. This is where you see that Trump is a bully. He goes after people, countries who can barely defend themselves. And he tries to act all big and bad when he's hurting the little guy. But the second an equal or bigger bully shows up, the dude backs down. Now, you can excuse this childlike behavior on the playground. But now when it comes to geopolitics and Donald Trump's actions literally killing babies at hospitals, This is just one tanker reaching Cuba after a 3-month de facto blockade. So while this is much needed help, it is not going to solve all the problems that Donald Trump caused. But hopefully it is the beginning of the Cuban people getting the resources they require. Share this so people can see the hurt and damage that Donald Trump did to the Cuban people for nothing, for his own personal gain. My heart really does go out to the Cuban people. And remember to
Hey, hey, he's a bully, definitely, and he's been shown weak. You know, even Iran showed him up a lot to even Russia, countries like Russia, because Russia been playing chess with them, even using Iran, and they have been shown to be weak. So if Donald Trump is now saying any country can bring oil to Cuba, basically, remember the other day was saying Cuba is next. Cuba, we're gonna take Cuba. We're gonna do that. He's now shown to be weak, weak. You know, and as the guy on the screen said that he basically threatened that anybody who will help Cuba, there will be sanctions and stuff like that. Hence, remember Jamaica sent back the oil tanker to Cuba. Do you remember that? So remember, you and Jonas, remember when you said that you condemn Russia with the Ukraine war in 2022, which nobody asked you for your opinion, nobody at all, but you're just trying to kiss the ass that you knew. But now you're seeing that the ass that you knew is being weak. I remember you have chosen your side. And I'm not saying to choose the side of Russia either, because the Lord is against Russia. What I'm showing you is that you choose the devil over the Lord, or you choose the devil over your brothers. See? And it's going to come back and haunt you. Don't think that you get away. It's going to come back and haunt every one of y'all, man. See? So this man is being now shown weak on the public scale, right? Isaiah chapter 14, verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we, art thou become like unto us. Let's get that in a different another version. So let's go to the NLT, and it reads in the NLT, with one voice they all cry out, no, you are as weak as we. Right? It says, your might and power were buried with you. The sound of the harp in your palace has ceased. No maggots are your sheet and worms your blanket. How are you fallen from heaven, O shining star, son of the morning? So the word Lucifer does mean enlightened one. It's the same thing as shining star. You have been thrown down to the earth, you who destroy the nations of the world. You tell me that America don't do that? Let's get that in another let's get that in another translation, the BBE, Bible Basic English. All right, let's go again. It says, they all make answer and say to you, have you become feeble like us? Have you been made even as we are? Your pride has gone down into the underworld, and it's not speaking about hell, like what Christians talk about. And the noise of your instrument of music, the worms are under you, and your body is covered with them. Oh, great is your fall from heaven, O shining one, son of the morning. How are you cut down to the earth, low among the dead bodies? So, see, these are the amplified. That's it. That's the one I want to get. Here, let's see what it says. All of them will respond tauntingly and say to you, you have become as weak as we are. You have become like us. Your pomp and magnificence have been brought down to Sheol, the grave, right? Sheol. Along with the music of your harp, the maggots which prey on the dead are spread out under you as a bed, and worms are your covering Babylonian rules. See, America is done. It is done. See, and all America have is tough chat. When those shall cease to spoil, those shall be spoiled. Remember those precepts. How art thou falling from heaven, O star of the morning? Right? Being light bringer, son of the dawn, you have been cut down to the ground. You have weakened the nations, king of Babylon. But you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of the assembly in the remote parts of the night, which is America. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will make myself like the Most High. But in fact, you will be brought down to Sheol, to the grave, to the remote recess of the pit, the region of the dead. It just means you're gonna come down to the position that Jake, our people, has been in. That's what he's speaking about, right? So let's get Isaiah chapter 47. We're gonna read this chapter. It's not long, but this chapter is something that we definitely can bring out now, because this man is going down. Lament for Babylon is the heading. He says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, right? Confusion. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. And this is the part. When I saw the video, I said, oh, see, the throne is gone. There is no throne. Because when America is in the pinnacle of its glory, if Russia did that, they would have struck Russia. Sanctions and many more, maybe even the homeland. And Russia would be backed into a corner. Even if they fight, America would seem to come out more victorious to the masses, But no, Russia sail into your front yard, not your backyard, into your front yard, and you can't do shit about it, man. You're weak, pathetic, So like Russia sail into your front yard, not America, and you can't do shit about it. It says, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meals, and cover thy locks, make bare the legs, and cover the thigh. Pass over the river, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So this is the Lord taking vengeance on Babylon the Great. And the Lord said when he comes back, he's not going to meet you as a man. He's going to come back as a mighty angelic force, man. When the Lord come back, missiles will be raining on that bitch. And all them devils, man. Whether you want to be Russian, Polish, you name it. Once you're in the might, you're going into captivity. Once you'll survive this destruction. Right? Verse 4, as for our Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah forces his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Nobody is looking at you with any form of respect no more. Only people is like those stupid ass Benjamites out in Jamaica and like in the Caribbeans that that think to make it in life you still have to go to Babylon. When the Babylonians that are there trying to get the F up out of that bitch, because they know the transition that is being made. And a lot of Jake even in the States would want to leave, but they can't afford it because of how the system has been set. And it is to fulfill prophecy. Right? Verse 6, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand, thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancient as though very heavily laid thy yoke. Because even, let's put it on a smaller case, even on the streets, you think the cops give a F about Jake whether they want to be a old man or a old woman? Instead every day they give a fuck, even now. Excuse my language, but it's just the reality. They don't care. They don't care when they're bringing down the wrath that they can bring on Jake. Verse 7, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly. And that's the reason why all them choose being on TikTok singing song, F you Iran, we gonna get rid of you, whatever, because they have been careless. They have been taught by the movies that they are invincible. That pride, that pump, you know, says that says in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's a lie, because it's coming. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of sons and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge it had perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And that's the attitude that he went into Venezuela with. Oh, Cuba next. Let's see. Let's see. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And destruction shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right? And now, here's where you get deeper. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayst prevail. So like that witch, that Trump evangelist or whatever, all of your witches and warlocks, man. You can fool the regular people in America. You can't fool us, man. The thing is, even among them heathens, you see them burning Baal, your deity, you know, because the people they know. They know who you are. They know that you're the fucking devil. Yeah? It says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth, they shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. Because the scripture says, who shall turn back the arrow shot by a mighty archer? And when you get deep, that archer is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because that's the weapon of the Lord's indignation. Since America has been proved to be weak, America, Babylon the Great, you name it, whatever you want to call it, man. That whore, spiritually, is now losing, and he's losing bad. Trump is being beaten down bad. He's looking bad on the world stage. Like that video we're speaking about Ben Salman, the crown prince. He better treat us good. He better treat us good, or something like that. Everybody's looking at you weak, man. The only ally you have is Israel, and you're the BYTCH of Israel, man. You know? I just thought I should speak a little something on this, you know. And I'm feeling I'm feeling good to know that the Cubans, because a lot of them doctors, we had them out here, and a lot of them return. And we see a great strain in the medical sector. You know, we have seen it. And to know that you left right here, you have power and whatever, and you're making more money than what you would make. And I'm going to tell you this for free. They send back money home to help take care of their families. You know? It's not like Jake that, you know, hold it up to themselves. And, well, for the most part, a lot of Jake would do that. Don't give a flying F about their loved ones. You know, but they send back, of course, they do. They send back money to their loved ones abroad and stuff like that. And, you know, it work. And trust me, it does work. It does work. But to go back and then go into darkness, and so I'm happy for them. I'm gonna be honest, but prepare yourself, because the entire grid is a possibility that the entire grid goes down one at a time. You never know. You never know. But and it's also a possibility that the entire grid doesn't go down, because this thing has to be televised when when America has been burnt, man. You know. But shalom. On to the next. Hope that